What can you do to increase your chances of winning more business when making your presentations? Earlier this week I caught up with Nigel Dickinson, Managing Director of Winning Presentations Asia Pacific. I asked him what many of our viewers have asked me off camera. Now, without giving too many winning presentation secrets away, I asked Nigel to give us some general tips on how we can get ahead of the game. This is what he had to say.
I think one of the first things to say is in this business winning presentation process, winning's actually about a whole number of things that you have to get right on the day. Bear in mind that selection panels primarily are looking for reasons to eliminate you, not for reasons to appoint you. Now, it sounds the same, but it means that you've got to get everything right. And let's put paid straight away to this notion that it's one particular silver bullet or panacea that will fix your problems, if only it were that easy. You know, there are people who say, look, get your pauses right, provide you with gravitas and a chance to think. Others swear by correct breathing and posture and techniques. Those things are very helpful in terms of delivery. Actors will say it's all about projection of self and voice. Again, very helpful, but ask yourself how many mandates your people have won as a result of breathing more effectively or pausing. Helpful. The point here is that it's about a whole range of things that you have to get right. It's about the ability of the team, because it's very often a team that's making the presentation, to look and feel choreographed, as if they're happy to be working together. The ability to send out all these intangible qualities that people are looking for. Confidence, chemistry, trust, the ability to articulate your vision and your propositions with clarity and, where appropriate, with some wit and humour. How long are you going to speak? If you're bringing the big hitter into the team, what's the big hitter's role? Why is he or she there? What should be the relationship between the spoken presentation and your written material? Many, many things other than pure physical delivery. The tactics on the day, the strategy prior to the presentation. All of these things matter. And that's why we are passionate believers in this holistic approach. Because if you get it all right, you're going to be streets ahead of your competitors. Secondly, and something you can do quite quickly, is bear in mind that 40% of new business wins come from teams who've gone on first. So if you can, get in that pole position. The other thing we can do from our research findings, and I've got to say they're pretty strong on that 40%, but the other myth is that the death slot after lunch, for example, is the worst one. In actual fact, all the others rate about the same. So first after lunch, last in the day, whatever it is, they're all about the same. If you want to literally treble your chances of a win, then try and get that pole position. Thirdly, well, you all know this really. Practice, practice, practice. Arnold Palmer, the more I practice, the luckier I seem to get. Put the effort into practice, because I bet you'd rather spend 2 hours in practice than 2 hours in a post-mortem with your CEO discussing why you lost. And the other little tip there is don't just practice the presentation. So many times we hear teams say, look, Nigel, don't worry about the Q&A. We know our stuff and we're going to be fine. When I hear that, in Europe, we'd say when people are going to wing it, I get really, really worried, because about 60% of new business presentations will get lost on poor performance in the Q&A. So make sure that you manage that process, particularly with the management techniques of Q&A that we can give you here, again, based on how your clients want that run. And if you get all those things together, you are going to be streets ahead of your competition. That's enough for today.